Hello, hello. Another day, another stream. Um, my cat stole my sock and now he's running around with it like it's his pet animal. Ooh. Oh, Ludum Dare 52. Is it Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare? Sixth to ninth. What day is it? The 5th? So it's just tomorrow. That could actually be kind of fun. What's up, Dracula? Are you gonna do this? What is this? 52 games. Ow. My cat's attacking my foot. Those are the themes. How are you doing today, Dracula? Hold on 1 second. Oh, you have a company party on Saturday? Uh-oh, your head hurts. That's not good. Can take some Tylenol or some Advil or something. Do you, how many days long is this? I just don't think I would have enough time. Like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time this weekend. How often do they do these? Until Monday? Yeah. Three p.m. So it's like Friday afternoon. I probably wouldn't be able to do anything on Friday. I'd probably have like 1 day total to do this. I guess I could make like a really small game. One day. Maybe not this one, but oh, it's very rare. That's the problem. I'd like to do it at one point because it's like the big one. I feel like that's where all the that's where most people do their game jam. Oh, I just noticed on the menu. Where is it? Ah, there it is. I need to set the cursor higher up. Who dares disturb my peace during my birthday? Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Conifer. How old are you now? Are you doing anything fun for it? 28, kid. That makes me older than you. No? You should do at least something. Do you want me to sing you happy birthday right now? I don't celebrate it these days. Yeah, I'm the same way. Alright, good, because I wasn't gonna. You'll quit the stream, unsubscribe, leave, block, everything you can to get away. Yeah, I don't think I could handle singing on I couldn't handle singing in public unless there's like 1,000 other people singing next to me. It will be like one of those toxic relationships where we still message each other somehow. Yeah, like if I make an alt account to message you next year, I'm like, hey man, I just want to let you know, happy birthday. I actually don't know what I want to work on today. Oh man, that gives me PTSD. One of my Czech exes used to do that. Jeez. That's super sketchy. She pretended she was Russian and sent me some pics. Dang, dude. I'm not gonna read that one out. Interesting. It's like, that looks very familiar. That picture looks very familiar. Gosh. Well, I'm glad you finally settled down with a truly good woman who'll take care of you. Oh, so that this explains a lot actually. So this is why the account changed from Conifer to Kenta. I see. So that's why you changed your username. Oh, you told me this? I had to completely bail out. Dang. I don't know. I feel like it would be I guess maybe it would be kind of hard to find your new account, but didn't you post on your old account like, "Hey, this is my new account"? I was kind of joking. Oh, gotcha. That's like your secret space. Actually, I probably should have planned better what I was gonna work on today. Now go back to work. Exactly. Jeez, and I can't even get mad at you because it's your birthday. This is terrible. I'm just getting bossed around. I'm never streaming on January 5th ever again. I've learned my lesson. Hmm. I was actually thinking of doing rendering stuff, but I don't know if I want to really deal with it. I have to do it eventually, though. What I have to do is basically, I have this like weird render pass thing. I really need to like abstract it all away. I guess I could like plan it out a little bit. Or I don't even think we need to draw anything. I just need to write some stuff down. I need to plan out all the passes. So when I render tile maps, what ends up happening if the camera is like the geometry all has to be batched together perfect, or it has to be what can happen is sometimes the like there's some floating point offset problems which leave these like very small gaps, like single pixel gaps between the different quads that get rendered. So when I do this one, I either have to render at I have to render at like at no pixel offset. Um, that makes everything like tile together perfectly. Then offset by the camera amount. Um, rotated things. Well, then I guess then on top of that, I have entities. Well, the tile map's always below, well, not always actually. I guess I have different tile map layers, and some could be in front of the player. I have to write a to-do list so that I can write the code later. This is my method. I'm a list maker. I got lists all over the place. My walls aren't painted, they're just sticky notes of lists. What's up, Doru? So rotated things, because it's pixel art, it looks really bad if you rotate it on if you rotate it at low resolution, it looks really bad. Oh, nice. What are you having for dinner? Oh wait, it's 12. Jeez, it's late. Cow skin and lots of spice. I've never heard of cow skin before. I don't think that's a thing. That's called leather. You're eating leather. Oh, that's the joke, I guess. It's some heavily cooked beef. I'm gonna call this an object layer. Monsters. It's the gelatinous stuff after the leather layer. Oh, interesting. I had no idea. Treat it in a lot of spice and then boil it in its broth. Interesting. Do you guys actually just call it cow skin? Is it good? Um, Albacoa. Interesting. I'm gonna search it. Looks good. So that's what you're talking about. That's the skin. Weirded out by first, but it's pretty good. Oh hell nah. This could be your birthday dinner, Conifer. You gotta explore cuisines. That's interesting. I didn't even know you could buy that. I will explore more cuisine even more in May. Back to Korea, more to try. Nice. This time for 3 weeks. That's a lot. That's a pretty good amount of time. I guess if you're gonna make that long of a trip though, like if you're gonna go that far, you may as well stay for a while. You staying with your in-laws? I don't think I would ever rotate the character. It's mostly just the sword around, or like the weapon that you're holding. The if a projectile's shot, it needs to be rotated maybe. I think it's just that stuff. Maybe like, I guess kind of in the vein of projectiles. Um, Trying to think here. Projectiles, weapons, swords. I don't know, like explosions, things like that. I think on top, I'm gonna have like some sort of lighting layer. My mother-in-law is hyped like a child. That's good. Does she like you? I mean, what's not to like, right? Oh, that's kind of a stupid question, huh? She must love you more than her own daughter. That's hilarious. That's the right kind of mother-in-law to have. The weird thing about the object layer is things need to be able to tile together, but they also need to huh. Like I might have walls that tile together, but they also might need to be drawn in front of the player. But I almost need to draw them at a different pass. There's a Korean saying that all the love from mother-in-law goes to son-in-law and no one else. Oh really? So it's very common then. All right, I need to marry a Korean girl then. Putting it on my list. Just kidding. But your father, does your father-in-law hate you then? It's like it goes opposite. Your mother-in-law likes you a lot, and then your father-in-law hates you. No? Oh, he's really cool. Dang. Man, you're living the life then. You want to go hiking? And I'll even though he doesn't speak English. Oh, really? That's cool though. I hope you've been practicing your Korean. He found out what? That you've been practicing? You found out that I don't? What? Speak Korean? Or that you haven't been practicing? Not that much. Well, you need to work on that. Make your father-in-law proud. This is the family for the rest of your life. I'm better in Kotlin than in Korean. Oh, that's not good. The same though. I don't even know Kotlin. I'm better than Kotlin than Korean. Maybe you could just have him learn a programming language and then communicate with him that way. I think the hard part that I'm struggling with is that what I used to do. Let's go to my render pass code. What I was doing previously is I was doing a lot of software sorting. I would batch draw commands into this buffer, and like the outer buffer is the layer, and then the inner buffer is like the actual sprite that needs to be drawn. And then I would do some software sorting to sort it based off of the y-axis. And that's how I would do my layering. So then like every render, or not every render pass, but I would basically just sort things so that I'm drawing from back to front. But what I want to switch over to do is use a depth buffer, then set the z value to the I want to set the z value to the y value, and then draw it that way. Why don't you use LDTK to make your life easier? I feel like my tile map editor is pretty good. I can show you it. Like it's pretty easy to just like draw stuff. Just like draw some trees, delete some trees, draw some. Well, it's hard to tell these because I changed how my buttons were rendered recently. I'm gonna like draw some floors and put it in the water. And voila. It looks weird because my mouse cursor is off still. But I'm trying to fix that now. Please pivot center that. It's actually pivot centered on the center. It's kind of a weird problem. I actually don't know why it's happening, but it has to do with the fact that I have like multiple draw calls, one to a frame buffer, and then the frame buffer to the screen, I think. And then each of those I'm not doing one of those correctly or something like that, and it's making it offset. I'm trying to fix that basically. But yeah, I feel like this is pretty, like my tile map editor is pretty good, and I can just add chunks at will. So like for example, if I just go to here, pick the water one, draw a bunch of them, it'll just add a new chunk here. So I can just like keep going outward and it'll just keep adding chunks. So it just like spawns chunks as needed, basically. And then it automatically saves them in the right format, and then I load it into my game. I'm not going to save this because I don't want to have all these chunks made, but... But yeah, I need to fix that cursor bug. I'm hoping once I fix this rendering pass thing, I'll be in a better shape for stuff. I just need to make sure that I'm doing, like, what ends up happening when I program is like, I'll do something not knowing that what I'm doing is wrong, and then I'll later realize, oh, because I did it this way, I need to rewrite it because I did it wrong, you know? But maybe I do need to draw. Okay. We'll start at the tile map layer. We draw all of our tile maps in chunks. So that's our screen. The tiles get chunked up like this. I guess I could either keep those in the same, like I'm trying to decide when I'm going to clear the render buffer, the depth buffer. I could either put these all the way back, or I could clear the Z buff. That looks terrible. I'm not really sure what to do here, but that's probably okay. It probably doesn't matter that much, because eventually these get batched into one big geometry. Like this is a one big draw call, essentially. Then I have a layer on top of that, which is like trees. What's up, AK? How you doing this morning? Or this evening? We have a player. And then we have situations, though. Well, we have things that tile together as well. Like if we have a wall that tiles with another wall. These need to tile together. I think that tile... Have you had time to look at Scala? I've done a little bit of Scala in the past. Not a lot, though. But SBT sucks. What's SBT? Is that Scala something? Oh, the build tool. So if I use a Z buffer, it'll make sure everything's sorted properly in the object layer. All of these, if I keep the Z buffer from the last calls where I draw the tile map, then these need to be lower. Otherwise it'll block those. If I have anything that's transparent though, if I have like a window or something like that, or a sprite with some like transparency in it, which actually I might have quite a lot of, then I need to sort those. I have to do all the opaque first. Transparent. I have to make sure the transparent stuff is sorted and drawn after the opaque stuff. Unless there's an opaque thing in front of a transparent thing. So maybe I do still keep my layering concept. And then maybe I sort some layers that have transparency. And all I do is sort, I sort based off of Z. Or no. Yeah, I sort based off of the Z, that's like the primary sort. And then if two things are at the same Z, do I, no, wait a second. If I have, let's say I have this. I have like a sprite, and then I have an opaque sprite behind it. You're confusing me with your confusion? Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I get everything in the right order. I have opaque sprites, which are completely filled. Well, so what happens in the Z buffer is you have a sprite, but it's like a splot. Let's say like it's a winter. Actually, if it's fully alpha, it might not do this. Maybe I need to look at this. But if you have a sprite that's got transparency in it, like only half of it's filled, I think when you draw this to the Z buffer, it still acts like the entire sprite got filled. Like it still looks like this. So what can happen? The Z buffer is for basically culling fragments that are behind already drawn stuff. So if you draw something behind this now, it knows it doesn't have to draw this region because it's behind something. The problem is this was a transparent region, so we do want this to draw. Let's do this. How does Z buffer work with transparency? The Z buffer doesn't work for transparent polygons. The problem is the Z buffer prevents OpenGL from drawing pixels that are behind things that have already been drawn. First, a quick fix. Disabling Z right for translucent polygons. If a transparent polygon doesn't write the Z buffer, then subsequent polygons that are written behind it can't be occluded. If if all translucent polygons or that's your answer? Oh, well, that's my answer. This does actually work, but for normal GL blend settings, the order of the polygons blended to frame also matters. Sort the translucent polygons as a function of Z depth. To be perfect, even sorting them isn't enough. You need to split polygons up on the fly to get perfect rendering. Oh, because you can have weird stuff like this. I'll never have this though. This is like a polygon's covering one, but not, so there's no way to sort this properly. No, because all of mine are flat. This is only 3D. This wouldn't happen in 2D. Are you sure? Could you imagine spending time working on this when, like, I guess I could maybe have some weird geometry. Nah. I'll put the limit at that point. The upshot of this is that you'll simply will get errors for any acceptable real-time algorithm. It's just a matter of what you're prepared to tolerate. In my game, I render all alpha. It's so hard to read these pages that are so far across. It's like, okay, I render, and then it's like, where am I? All? Okay, all alpha divided polygons after solid ones. I don't sort my alpha polygons. Nobody ever complained about sorting problems with alpha polygons. But if you dive into a lake and look... Yeah, okay, interesting. I think for mine... So this is actually what will happen. So if the sprite is only... If this part's transparent, it'll block this one. So what I need to have happen is I need to have... Man, I wish I was like 10% smarter and I could just like solve this stuff really fast. But unfortunately, I have to think about it for a lot of time. Just 10%, that's all I need. I need to use 10% more brain power. Okay. So for transparent things, if your Y position, let's say you're on the green layer. Or let's just do all of this in red. We'll do it all in blue. Let's say I'm this one. Actually, we can use the square tool. That's actually pretty nice. Okay. This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. So these are at different Y positions, but they might still overlap. Let's say they're all transparent. If they're all transparent, I want to do 1, then 2, then 3, right? Time to make food, be right back. All right, sounds good. I might go make some coffee here soon too. I feel like I always want to do 1, then 2, then 3. But if they're all opaque, transparent, opaque, doesn't matter. In fact, 3, 2, 1 is the most efficient way to sort them, but it doesn't matter. Let's say 1 is opaque, 2 and 3 are transparent. Then I would want to draw 1 first, and then 2, and then 3. If 1 and 2 are opaque, then it doesn't matter this order I sort those in. 3 needs to be drawn on top of it. If 2 is opaque, if 2 is transparent and 1 and 3 are opaque, 2 is transparent, 1 and 3 are opaque. I need to do 1, 2, 3. Because this is like a window or something, but this is on top of it. So I basically need to sort from back to front. I need to do like I'm trying to think here. trying to think of like what the sorting rule is going to be. It's like if they're both opaque, then don't sort. If either are T, then we have to sort. I think this works. And then the Z buffer will work fine, I think. Okay. Because like I think the way to think about this is like this is a plane and this is literally like a standing up sprite, you know? But there's some transparency on it. So I think most of my sprites in the object layer are going to have transparency on them. They're not going to be perfect quads. Like they're not going to be perfectly filled in. That makes sense. I think this works. All right, I'm gonna think about this more and I'm gonna make another cup of coffee. I'll be right back. What's up, Sammy? What's up, Michael? Sorry. I had to go to the bathroom too. But I made my full cup of coffee. So it was efficient. What's up, Mountain Shark? Largest coffee known to man. Yep, it's a whole gallon. I have a whole gallon mug. I just take, those like plastic water bottles or those plastic gallons of water. I just put coffee in that. I will actually make myself a cup as well. Sounds good. I've started drinking tea in the afternoon because sometimes I'm like a little bit sleepy in the afternoon. I'm like, I kind of want a little bit of caffeine. And when I make coffee, it's always like, it's like too harsh. Coffee's too harsh for the afternoon. So tea is like the perfect balance for it's an afternoon cup of tea. Give me 1 second. My cat keeps jumping on the counter. I gotta train him not to do that. But he seems to have stopped. Okay, cool. I think basically what the general trend of this is gonna look like is I'm gonna have a pass. All right, cat did it again. Are the kittens? They're good. They I have curtains in my bedroom, and I guess I don't know when this happened, but I must have been gone or I don't know. I didn't hear it, but they like yanked them down somehow, or they yanked down like they're it's in drywall, so there's like anchors, It was anchored into the drywall, but I guess they climbed them or something and like pulled it down. So it didn't fall all the way down, but like it's all messed up now. So I'll have to fix that later. But other than that, they're very cute. It's like you get mad at them when they do stuff like that, but then it's like, oh, he's purring, and then you fall back in love. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like if I'm not around, they'll just like go crazy on stuff, even when I'm around. I think I'm gonna have to just go and pick up everything. Like I think I just need to have like a very clean house now, because they just like everything gets knocked off my desk. I even bought another desk so I could put papers on it, but like I have to give up on that dream, I think. Because they walk up there and they pick up my pens and they just throw them on the ground, and then they like jump off of it and my papers go flying. I need to have like I need something to like slot my papers into and close them up. But they're cute. Coming up here? Coming up to see me? Okay. Yeah, we got 3 cats. I know the struggle. Yeah. They're still kittens, so they're a little bit more like they're a little bit more wild than I think the normal cat would be. So I think in like a year or so they'll be a little bit more settled in. It's fun to have the kitten phase, but it's yeah. I think if I got another cat, I probably would get a cat. Like I'd get something that's more an adult. Even though it would play less, it'd still play a little bit probably. But no, they're cute. I love them. Yeah, I think what it'll be is like I'll do some draws. I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like draw stuff. Draw stuff. Then I might have like commands interleaved. Like clear Z buffer. Hmm. I might leave these external, I don't know. And then draw more stuff. The other thing I don't really do right now is I like rebatch everything. So if I have a really big geometry object, right now I copy it to a GL buffer. But in reality, a really big geometry object that got batched once, I shouldn't copy it every time. I should just copy it once and then use that. I think this will be fine. I guess let's just, this will be what we do today. I doubt I'm going to finish this today. Or I doubt I'm going to finish this on stream. I might finish it today though. This is my current render pass. I'm trying to see if I can bolt this into this, but I also might just write another one. Let me just pop this over here. All right. Sorry, my cat was interacting. Okay. Let's look at my draw code actually. Let's just make sure this will fit in well. This does the actual render pass. Basically, it we have a frame. We make a frame buffer. We create a system, and this is what loops every time. We clear the window. We clear the frame. We do some update stuff. Oh, for the camera to fit into these bounds. And then we draw the render pass to the frame. And then I think all we do is draw the pass. Where's pass used? Or sorry, frame. Yeah, we do frame.draw. We draw the frame to the window pass, which is another one of these. And then we draw the window pass to the window. And this is like just one quad that gets drawn, but it uses the frame buffer as the texture. So that's where I would do like upscaling if I wanted to. The other thing I was thinking about was I was thinking I might render at like a lower pixel density and then upscale things. That would work here. That would probably work with the object layer, but not on bullets. Then like things that get rotated would also be on like the object layer, which is this blue layer. So they're part of that depth buffer sorting thing. They need to be rendered at a higher resolution because I need to be able to rotate them. Like a projectile arrow might need to be rotated a certain direction based off of its movement. Is your goal for this game to be 3D? No, this is a 2D game. It's a 2D game, but we can leverage some of the 3D tools that are included in OpenGL. to like make our lives a little bit easier. Specifically, I'm trying to migrate over to using the Z buffer for my sorting, because right now what I do is I have a bunch of draw commands, and I sort them all depending on the y-axis, basically. So I sort everything that's up here first. I draw all these first. I just basically sort everything in the world, which is like I think it's called Painter's algorithm, or maybe it's like the reverse of what Painter's algorithm is. Or maybe it is Painter's algorithm. I don't know, actually. Whatever one is painting from the back to the front, that's what I'm doing. So it's all in software. The one limitation here that I've been running into is that it's hard to have multiple passes. It's hard to have like multiple layers, I guess, with different shaders and stuff like that. But when I have the Z buffer, I'll be able to do that a little bit more easily. Because I was thinking about how could I how could I make this? Because there's a few different problems. I kind of talked about them at the start, but when you render tiles, there's sometimes this coffee has been got. Nice. When you render tiles, there's sometimes this like screen dooring effect that, or like the tiles, there's some floating point offset errors which cause the tiles not to tile properly. So it can leave like a single pixel gap in between tiles. So stuff like that needs to be fixed. And the way to fix that is to render this layer with a camera offset that is like, what's it called? Like you have to use a pixel snap, yeah, pixel snapped offset. So I can draw all of, like basically what I was thinking is I can draw all of the tiles at a pixel snapped offset, and then everything else, or everything that needs to be pixel snapped, I'll draw it as at a pixel snapped offset. Let me think, does that work? Actually, I don't think that that works exactly how I was thinking it would. I was thinking I was going to draw everything at a pixel snapped offset and then switch it over to the like actual position, because like if he's off center a little bit, like kind of like I've drawn him here, then I need to draw all the tiles right there. But my guy's over here. Like this would be like 0, 0 or something. So my tiles have to be perfectly pixel aligned. Otherwise there would be floating point errors. Then I guess I'd have to draw all of this stuff. I guess what I was thinking is I would draw it all the tile stuff, and then I would just move the camera transform matrix and then draw the person. But that's not going to move the... That's not going to move everything else, you know? Unless I drew everything that's pixel snapped to... Unless I move everything that's pixel snapped to a frame buffer, and I draw it to a frame buffer, and then I draw it to the screen. But then that doesn't help me with things like this, which are, these are like objects, like a wall that the player can walk behind. So they need to be layer sorted, which means I can't draw them to a frame buffer. Because a frame buffer, once I draw a frame buffer to something, it's going to all have one depth value. But I need this to have a different depth value than the tile map has, because it's an object, right? I could keep doing what I'm doing, which is where I draw everything pixel snapped. Maybe I do that. I draw everything pixel snapped, and then I shift the camera over at the last second when I draw the final frame buffer. I just came back. What are we trying to achieve? I kind of have two things that I'm trying to achieve. One of them is I wanted to think about how I was doing my render passes. and how I was going to organize that for the future. I also wanted to switch over to using the Z buffer, because right now I'm doing a lot of software sorting of things, which I don't like, and it kind of limits me in some ways. And then I'm also trying to fix this. I'm trying to come up with a good abstraction for how I want to, like I want to have some way that I solve this problem and then just use that for everything. So I'm kind of realizing that I think I have to keep doing what I'm doing, which is that I have to draw everything pixel snapped, and then I have to draw everything pixel snapped, and then I have to shift the camera over by a small amount, which is what I'm doing. But I just need to make the abstraction a little bit better, so that when I unproject and reproject the camera, it's in the right spot every time. The only other thing that I had was potentially upscaling things. But the problem is, unless trying to think, sorry. I can, like, you can rotate pixel art as long as you draw it to, as long as when you're rotating it, you're also drawing it to a high resolution thing. And then it'll still look like, or let me open up Sprite. Whenever I try to implement something, I basically just try to do it first. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I typically do as well. Just, I've kind of already done it. So now that I've seen what the problems are with my current solution, I'm trying to like rectify them. And I'm trying to think about it a little bit more now that I understand stuff better. So if I rotate this, right, it looks terrible, right? Because you get these weird gaps and stuff like that. So that's not good. Maybe this is more of deducing where stuff is going wrong. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm trying to come up with a solution that, like, I've written something and I have these problems, and now I'm taking those problems and I'm trying to write the next thing. That's kind of how I develop software, at least. There's also this raw sprite algorithm I learned about, which is supposed to rotate stuff a little bit more accurately. But that's about center. Morning, JJ. But so this is that like native pixel resolution. Then if you, oops, if you upscale this just once, well, you can see it's already a little bit better. Like there's still some gaps, right? That's weird. There's still some gaps, but it still looked a little bit better. So that was just one upscaling. So that's just scaling it by 2. Then we scale it by 4. And then you can see like it looks a lot better. And then with anti-aliasing, with some amount of anti-aliasing code, which I kind of have already, it looks like you can kind of see what's going on, right? So that's a 4x. What would an 8x look like? What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now at an 8x. It looks like pretty good, right? Yeah, so more pixels is better, but so like or we'll just go back. More pixels is better. So you can, but I'll like usually when people do pixel art games, they do they snap everything per pixel, you know. So most of the stuff I can draw to, I could draw to a low resolution screen and then upscale that screen, but some things I have to draw to a high resolution screen, if that makes sense. So I think I'm just gonna draw everything to a high resolution screen and then and do that. I think I understand this problem a lot better though, now that I've thought about it. I don't think it's worth it to render to a low resolution screen until I have some reason to do that. I got caught up last night on responsive layout course and finished challenge 3. Nice. That sounds good. I think I'm happy. I think I'm generally happy with this. I think what I'm gonna do is yeah, I do actually have a use case for it. Or I have 2 use cases. Let's see. Did I change anything? I can just show you what they are. So like, see the sword? Or like, it's actually a stick, but I'll run over here so I don't die. See the stick? Like that's going through that, the only reason that looks okay is because I'm rendering it to a high resolution screen, right? And then I'm rotating it on that screen. The other thing is these projectiles. So I want to be able to rotate those as well. Also like arrow projectiles, things like that. Those are really the only things. Like I could though, what I could do is it just matters like how much graphical fidelity I care about, right? Like if I put everything, I could still render everything to a low resolution because most things aren't rotated, you know? So I could render everything high resolution as long, or everything that rotates high resolution, just render it onto a layer that renders on top of the low resolution layer. Does that make sense? Like I could do this. I could do like a low resolution layer, upscale it to a high resolution layer, right? And this is for like tile map, objects, like almost everything. And then I draw a high resolution layer. I'll use blue. Then I draw a high resolution layer that also goes on top, or that goes on top of it, you know? And this has all the rotated things like sticks. I call it sticks, swords. I guess weapons. And then projectiles. The only downside with this is, the only downside with doing it this way is that this layer, everything drawn on this layer has to be on top of everything drawn on this layer. I can't use, because they're different frame buffers, I can't, like, let me show you. Like this stick right here, right now it is on top, but theoretically I could draw it behind, you know? So it's like, oh, the sword's like behind you, which makes more sense graphically, probably. Right? Like usually the sword would be behind him, not in front of him. But like you probably don't notice it that much. But it would be a little bit more clearer what's going on if it was drawn behind him. And then projectiles, maybe projectiles go past people. Like it would fly over you. Like if a projectile went over you but didn't hit you because it was like slightly behind you, it probably makes a little bit more sense for it to be behind you, right? So I'm probably just gonna stick to the high resolution because I don't really see any, I don't see any use case for doing the low resolution. Yeah, makes sense. Maybe I'm missing something huge, but whenever we have a texture, we can just rotate it at a certain point. Yeah, the weird thing is, or the thing I was trying to explain with this is that if I draw this to a low resolution screen, then it's gonna be, this is gonna be like literally the pixel density. Like this is gonna be 1 pixel. But when I upscaled it, or I guess I lost the upscale part, but like if I make this a lot bigger, oops. If I make it a lot bigger and then rotate it, it looks good, right? But if I rotate it and draw it, and then I upscale that, then it looks bad. If that makes sense. So it's gonna look like this, you know? So it's about, I want to upscale it first and then rotate it. Yeah. Is this a software that you used to make all your stuff? Yeah, this is Asebrite. It's like 20 bucks or something like that. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, I do my pixel art in here. It's a very good tool. I've also been working on, oh, let me show you guys this. I've been working on like UI layouts. What do you guys think looks better? Well, I was trying like different health bars. I feel like I'm copying Hyperlight. Oh, 12 bucks on Steam. It's pretty cheap, yeah. You can also, it's open source, so you can compile it from source too. There's also a free version called Libre Sprite, I think. Yeah, Asebrite's very nice though. They even have like, I was able to script exporting sprites too, which is super, super nice. I was happy to pay for it. And then I think like it's in the Arch user repository, or it's in Arch Linux as well. So like, if you're on Arch Linux, you could probably just install it for free because it'll compile it from source. Or because someone already compiled it from source or something, but I don't know. I was kind of playing with UI layouts. This is not mine, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Down here is better or up here is better? I feel like this is more like normal. I was thinking of doing like maybe map, inventory, or equipment, inventory, but I was also thinking I might do something like just rows. The health bar should be the same theme the rest of the game follows. Yeah, this is the theme I was planning to go for. Do you like the top one more? Yeah, I wasn't really sure how to like center, because I can center this stuff. I guess I could scale these so that they fit. Like I could do this. It's not gonna look good, but well, it's not gonna look good right now. So for example, if we have hats as a major part of the game, make the health bar hat shaped. Oh, so every red block instead of a block is just a hat. Just like oops. Like that. You just have a bunch of these. Extreme example, but more suitable links can really put the game together. Haha. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is almost a little bit too clean. You shrink the given hat to a health bar. Ooh, now we're talking. So if you have a top hat, you get something like this. But if you have the mohawk, you have a bunch of mohawks. But like I don't know. This is exactly what Hyperlight Drifter did. Was they had like two boxes here and this. I just don't know what I put in these boxes. Other than like your inventory, it's very generic. Yeah. This was gonna be chat. I was gonna do map down here. I was gonna leave this blank. I don't know. I don't like putting stuff in the top right hand corner. I get that most maps go up here. For your current, yeah, exactly. Well, what I was thinking is this was gonna be like your, like what's equipped, you know? This could be like your equipment up here. Or some other thing that you see that you need. But I feel like I'm gonna have more than just two. So I might lay these out flat and put them down here or something like, I don't know. I'll have to play around with it. This is what I was thinking about doing. We're a very zoomed in view of your character. Oh yeah, portraits. That could be cool. Yeah, most games have the map up here. I don't like having too much stuff up here just because that's where like these buttons go. So I like it when there's nothing up here. Because I don't know why, but like I feel like I'm gonna accidentally click this. Like, this is where I go to close it. But anyways, that was a little distraction. Good distracting, very cool stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is coming together pretty nicely. I think the map's looking really good. Like I think that this I think the tile maps that I came up with look pretty solid. Even though there's really not that much to it. It's just like a flat wall, a side wall, wall underwater, like dirt tiles, and then these grass tiles that kind of go on stuff. But it is coming together. The UI stuff takes a lot of like iterating. I'm realizing it's like you like play for a little while and they're like that looks kind of weird, and then you have to change it. You know. I think I'm gonna make a different render pass. Well, let's think here. Who calls this? I think I'm gonna I'm gonna compose this render pass, the main render pass, into some other thing that does all the stuff that we talked about, except for the z-buffer sorting stuff, which I might add in the future. But I don't think it's necessarily needed for my stuff right now. I'll make a file called pass.go. This is all the stuff it's gonna do. If I get back to that field, I may try Gamedev money if money for better hardware happens. Oh, gotcha. You usually don't need that. Like, my game isn't that demanding. So if you make a game that's like simple, you'd probably be fine. Usually doing a main color with a few complementary colors work well together. Yeah. Gotta be careful on text colors. Yeah, I agree. I'm using a palette, the Zugi like 32 palette or whatever. It looks pretty good. Give me 1 second. All right. I think that this is gonna be like my main. I'm learning more and more that I feel like I should try to take the library thing that's a very generic solution and then make a layer on top of that. I feel like that works pretty well. And then if I start to realize that something I did in my specific example could be pushed out to the library, then I like to push that out. So now I can like, I'm not necessarily going to use composition here. I'm just going to, well, this is probably going to be like some specific pass, right? It's going to be the, like I might have like a tile pass. I might have like an object pass. Or something like that. Or I might just have one big pass. I don't know. I probably have a window pass. And then maybe a lighting pass. Maybe this goes on top. I don't know. But I'm going to comment these ones out for now. And I'm just going to call one like the main pass. And then I'm going to have window pass. Because right now everything goes into the main pass, and then this is the main pass. All right, let's do this. Client.go. Oh, but I forgot to show you guys the. I don't know if you guys were, or I guess Conifer was the mostly the person that was fixing the Wasm stuff, or looking at the Wasm stuff, or was opening tickets for the Wasm stuff. But I was finally able to get this like somewhat stable. It's not like you're in the game. There's some jittering still, but now you can tab away and then come back and it'll just work. But if you tab away for too long, the timeout's like 10 seconds right now. So let's wait for like a little bit. If you tab out for too long, it because what happens when you tab out is it loses the browser stops running the game basically. So if you tab out for too long, it logs you out. But then you can hop back in. So I finally got that working. That was yesterday. Okay. We'll import glitch. Then I wanted to go to I want to see where this pass goes. I think I'm gonna do new render pass. I actually don't think I need to pass anything in. Except for this. Because I kind of want to abstract everything away. I don't know if I want to call this a render pass or well, let's see. I need to turn that on and this off. I was kind of experimenting with this stuff. What's up, Emily? How are you doing today? Yeah, happy. Oh, it's Monday. No, it's not. Happy Thursday. Or your days are just way off, huh? No, it's Monday. No, it's not. Am I going crazy? Oh my gosh, it's Monday. Jeez. I thought it was Thursday. That's crazy. Every day is Monday. Gaslighting isn't real, you're just crazy. I haven't. I've just been working too much. I need a vacation from my vacation. I can't believe it's already Monday. What did I do the last 3 days? Or maybe I just had a really long dream. The last couple days has just been a dream. Now everybody's confused. I would not say this is a vacation. You're actually planning on releasing a game. That's true, yeah. But I enjoy it though. So I have to make a decision here. Work you enjoy is not equal to work? Exactly. That's how I feel about it. It's fun. I like it. This stuff's a blast to me. I think it's really interesting. Especially the networking stuff is really frustrating when it's not working. But once you get it working, it's very, very satisfying. The rendering stuff, I'm a little bit like, eh. But it's also satisfying because you get to see cool stuff pop up. But like solving those WebAssembly issues was somewhat trying. But once I got it working, I'll like it's that thing. It's like you have this problem and you finally get it to work. It's like it's always a good feeling, you know. I have a decision though. I can make hmm. I feel like I'm making one big object that that handles all of my rendering. Is that okay? Chasing the dragon? I haven't heard that saying before. What does that mean? Oh, like the dragon is the problem. I see. Yeah. It's exactly like that. Hmm. One big struct to begin with and refactor it if when needed. Yeah. I'm just I'm trying to think of how configurable I need this to be. Probably not that configurable. The only thing I use this, the only difference, I pass in shaders right now. Let me think here. If I push all my UI if I push like the UI drawing stuff inside of this as well, then I could create this at the very, very top. And then this just persists the entire game. But it is somewhat nice to be able to just like cleanly delete something. Like when you have one big struct that lasts for a long, long time, you have to make sure that when you move from zone to zone, like if I'm in a menu, I need to do this stuff. If I'm in this section, I do this stuff. I guess I could always have one big thing and just deallocate it and reallocate a new one. I think I cache shaders though, so I don't think this really matters that much. Oh no, I don't cache shaders. Wait, seriously? Oh, I guess I'm just making a new shader here, aren't I? I probably should. I don't know. I guess if the shader config, what is that? I don't think that's hashable. So it's probably better to do yeah, I'm gonna create all of this stuff at the top, I think. I don't really know what to call this. I'm gonna call it a pass right now. I could call it a window. And then instead of passing around a glitch window, I pass around just like this internal window object, and then I say like, oh, this manages all the window interactions. Do I like that? I don't like that really because of then I probably have to compose this into this, which isn't that bad really, but what's up, Jacob? How are you today? Yeah, I think I'm gonna make one of these. I'm just gonna call it a pass. I'll call it a render pass. We'll be a little bit consistent. But maybe I'll rename this to window. This is like the main drawing object. I'm trying to think, will this work? Because I have like sprite.draw, and I need to pass the right render pass to that. Draw color mask. I just need a batch target. So this just needs to have an add function, and I can pass this into it. This is what implements the draw target, and then I can just pass this directly in. The weird thing though is that lost all motivation for coding. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, I have days like that where I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to handle this. And sometimes I just need to lay in my bed and like scroll mindlessly on YouTube until it's dark, and then I go to sleep, and I wake up, and usually the next day I'm like, okay, I feel good now. I need to think about how I'm thinking about this. This is kind of a large refactor though. Yeah, that is a meta thing for sure. I feel like you have the best, whenever I say something, you're always able to like capture the essence of what I mean to say. That's an impressive skill, Emily. Meta think. Like that's the perfect, yeah. I would have never thought of that. Unless I really thought about how I thought. Like for example, how I have this structured right now is I pass in. It's almost like I want to like have like a draw object function, draw object layer function. I want to have a draw meta think, exactly. Oh, I forgot to add these back. I have to fix that later. Really the thing that I'm trying to abstract away is just right now. Oops, that's not right. Draw. Let me think here. feel like this is the bulk of what I'm trying to abstract away. Because I need to be able to call maybe I do call this window. And then this will also have like cameras and stuff like that in it. That way I don't have to worry about these cameras here. Because right now I'm passing this camera object around a lot to do these unprojections and stuff like that. So this like captures the window, the render passes, and the cameras, and all that's basically everything needed for all the input output. I'll probably compose this. I'll probably compose the window. Oops. Are you supposed to compose it like this? I think you do it this way. But if this is a pointer, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess I can, no, I didn't compose that, did I? Yeah, if I want it to be a pointer, if this is also going to be a pointer, just ask yourself what owns what. Everything owns everything. Yeah, you would make this normal, right? I think this is what it is. Because then this pointer makes it this a pointer. But this is now a pointer. So what I do, you reference that? That copies it. That's not good. I don't want to copy it though. I think I make this a pointer. I don't know. We'll leave this a pointer because I feel like that's more correct. And then if it starts to fail, I'll look into why that is. I guess is there a downside to dereferencing this? You can definitely compose pointers. Yeah, I just don't remember like I don't remember how it interacts with calling functions on them. Because this is always a pointer basically. And then all of these are function pointer, or they're what do you call this? I don't remember what you call this, but whatever this thing is always a pointer. Like they always pass a pointer into this function. There's a name for it. Function receiver. So I think now when I call functions on this object that reference this one, they're going to use the pointer. Which I think they should. I think that's how it works. I mostly just don't want to copy this, but hello you. My cat came to say hello. Did you just wake up? This cat sleeps, then she wakes up, we make eye contact, and she instantly is like, all right, time to go get pet. But she very aggressively seeks getting petted. I know. Oh, you guys hear her? Little cat purr ASMR for you today. Yeah, I gotta re-enable my cat cam. I always forget to. I put it away, and I forget to do it. Here, let me go move. Let me move her. Give me 1 second. All right. One second. Okie doke. Okie doke. Okay, back for the 17th time. Uh, Something about cameras. Well, yeah, I was gonna put my cameras in here too. Let's just go ahead and YOLO it, I think. This kitten is relentless. So I have different shaders that will be for different I guess I don't technically need the shaders. But this is gonna basically take in the I mean, I may as well just create this in there too. I feel like I'm just like moving everything over now. Like I may as well just call this in here, right? Because it's not like I'm gonna pass it anywhere else. I'll be a little bit careful, and I will loader I'm gonna keep separate though. And I call new window. What have I done? That's fine. Okay. I should make sure I hadn't done like half work on something and then go crazy. I'll be a little bit more confident for stuff like this. I'm just gonna do that. Then we have win. So now I shouldn't need this anymore. I also probably don't need this. I created a UI abstraction for UI.go, window camera load. What do I call new group? These are the exact same cameras. Managers always want too much. Yeah, that's their job. It's their job to squeeze you for as much jelly as you can produce. Okay, we'll make render passes. I'm just gonna use the same shader for now. We're also gonna make a UI group. Charts not rounded, numbers animate that. Gonna be depressed 100. Charts not rounded, numbers animate that animate that. Oh, they want numbers that animate how rounded the charts are? Dude, this is why UI is so hard, because people are like, I just want to like tweak this one little thing and animate it over like a couple frames, and you're like, that's kind of hard. That's gonna be a lot of work. I guess this is kind of like a screen camera. New group with the win, the screen camera. They want every 100K rounded. Oh, they're doing some lying. They're trying to make themselves look a little bit better. They're always rounding up. Hmm. Run menu. All this should take now is the win and load. Do I just put the I'm just worried that I'm becoming like a mega class. Got my end of year review tomorrow. I've got 383 PRs merged over the last year. Holy, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not sure mega class for rendering is that bad. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right actually. I might keep my I'm gonna pass my loader in. I'm not gonna add it to the window until I feel like I need it. Like IMGUI is just 5 megastructs. Yeah. Well, it's just hard. It's hard to decouple some of this stuff, you know? Because like at some point you just need to like have some knowledge about stuff. So maybe it is good to have that all together. So I don't think this is necessarily bad. Run game also would change. When in load. Now the shader's encapsulated. I don't need the group anymore. I'm gonna comment this out. Let's see here. Oh, actually I have a good idea for this. I can have like window. I can just do like tile pass or something like that, you know? Or maybe I make these public, like main pass, window pass, which they're already in the same package, so it doesn't matter, but like I do something like this. This just returns r.mainPass. And then the user just does like sprite.draw win.tilePass. And then like mat or whatever. So maybe I'll make these capital letters. I'm gonna call this screen pass. This might get split up into these as I kind of talked about, but these will be capital. I like this. Or I like it'll be like this now, but okay. And this builds its own render pass, so that's fine. I have this. I'm just gonna call it a group. Even though like group is such a terrible name. It's like inside of the package, it's a UI.group, which makes sense because it's a group of UI things. But inside of here, I feel like it should be something different. Children. I want to call it like UI, but I don't want to call it UI. You know what I mean? Because they're contained within. Well, it's like this is the. I'm trying to figure out what to call this field of my window struct. Because what it's going to look like is probably it's going to be like win.ui.clear, or is it win.group.clear, or is it win.ui.clear? You know what I mean? Or UI group. I'm just gonna stick with group for now. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Golang would want UI all caps, but I know that they like that, but I don't like that. I almost always do my acronyms like this. GoVet will be mad. Yeah, GoVet already hates me. You should see my where is it? It's I did it once. I don't remember the website. There's some website where you can get your Go badge or something like that. And I ran it on one of my libraries, and I got like a D or something. And it's all because of because I've never run Go format, and I do weird stuff. Like I'll do like if error not equal to nil, return error. I'll do stuff like this in a single line, and they don't like that. I think it looks good though. Like it's such a simple line. It's such a it's a very repeatable line too. We'll do this. Alright, just how will any other Golang developer ever read your code? Literally unreadable. I know. Shame on me. This needs an update function. Which it calls win.update. It'll do those as well. Menu rect win.bounds. That'll be composed. That should be fine. One day I'll run Go format, and it'll everything will be perfect. That's the nice part about it, is it's like I don't have to do it if I don't want to, but then one day I can just be like, I'll do it. But it's a one-way decision, you know, because there's no going back after you push. Or I guess I could always roll back that commit, but if I start making changes on top of it, that'd be a nightmare. Pass. So this will be window.screen pass. Wait, win, or glitch.clear. I guess I can write a clear function. The thing is there's just different ways, there's different I don't think I'm gonna write a clear function. I don't think this is gonna work, but we'll fix that when we get to it. That's fine. We'll clear the window. It might need to be win.window. I'll make a draw function though. Let me just make sure that this is gonna fit into I like a final execute render pass. It does clears, it does some updates. Draw to the frame. Like that's what most of this is going to be, is all of this work. So I think I can do, I guess these will just all be fixed in the order that they do stuff in, which I think is okay. I don't think that's that bad of a problem. Then it'll just be win.draw. Wait, what do I call it? Screen pass? Yeah. Okay, now we have this. This is a lot simpler now. And then I'll just make it more complicated as needed for this. For like the main drawing code. Because that clears a few more things. Like now we need a frame buffer. This won't be a window. I guess let's go back to client. Let me just think about how this is going to go. We'll make a frame buffer in here. We have a screen pass already, so we can reuse that one. Then we probably need to use the pixel art shader for it. Because I think I'm using sprite shader right now. Let's see. Render bounds. Oh, this updates the frame buffer. So the UI, now the main menu, when it draws, is going to have a frame buffer as well, which isn't that bad of a problem to have. Everything's going to render the frame buffer, then the frame buffer is going to render to the screen. The camera is going to be pixel snapped already, so it'll be fine. So I'll probably have two cameras, one of them for like the actual camera, and then one of them for the pixel snapped camera, and then one of them, oh, I guess I'll have three, one for the screen camera. Then what do? We do, we update this camera. Yeah, these will be getting updated at the same time. I think I've outdone myself, guys. I think this is gonna be, Whew. Jeez. Just wait. I'm gonna totally like, later today I'm gonna be like, oh, there's a glaring flaw with this design. And then I'll be in tears again. Oh, okay. All right, I think that'll work. Group draw gets done last. What happens here? Where's the draw function? Here I'm drawing it first. Oh, because it's a weird, in this case, for the UI, wait a second. Oh, they'll be Z sorted. These things will all be Z sorted, so it doesn't matter which order I draw these in. I was thinking, oh, group draw needs to be after this draw, but they don't. Because this draws straight to the window, it doesn't draw to, I could maybe change that, I guess, but. Aspiring game dev writes good non-enterprise code for the first time in his life. 2023 colorized, yep. That's my life now. It is nice. It is nice just not having to deal with all the Java stuff. that's for sure. Okay. I think I've looked long enough. The time for action is now. All right, run game. I'll have to do this with the editor as well, but that won't be too hard because all of this stuff is going to be like I reuse all the systems basically. All right, win, world, network channel. This is all not, or let's just do this. Do I need shader? Oh, why do I even pass shader in then? Cool. All right, then we'll search for win here. Pass, new render pass, win. I'm gonna comment all of these together. I'm gonna copy those and put them over here. Just as a reminder. Where does tile map render get used? That's a good question. Get chunk. Oh, I just draw it to passes like that. Okay. So all the tile map render does is it just figures out what sprite needs to be drawn where, and then I get that, and I draw it. Okay, so this we keep. This we do not need anymore. This part I'm a little hesitant on. Oh wait, no, this one I was talking about needing to have a tile snapped one or a pixel snapped one and a unpixel snapped one. So these need to be held inside the window. So I'll have window dot. I guess I already have like a screen camera, don't I? So we'll have windows, we'll have shaders. Passes. Cameras. So we'll have a screen camera. Screen cam or screen camera? I'll just do screen cam because it's a little bit shorter. Cam, that's easy to type. We'll have a player camera and we will have a unit in writing good code. Yeah, I can't believe you put that in the same sentence. It's unreal. What'd you add to your coffee? Just a little bit of whiskey? I've never tried this, but I imagine programming when you're drunk is just like the worst experience in the world. But you'll have to let us know, Conifer. Oh Lord, yes it is. I tried it. Yeah, it seems like I would just be like, I cannot think about this. You ever fix the OpenGL 3 issue with glitch on Mac? There was one that I haven't fixed and one that I think I did Oh, for the desktop app? I don't know. I don't think it got fixed actually. Let me go look really quick. No, I haven't fixed it yet. I haven't fixed it yet. Version 300 is not supported. Yeah, I don't have a Mac, so it's hard to test those ones. But one day I will get one just to test it to make sure it works. It's sprint switching day, so yeah, a hefty amount of whiskey. I used to cook drunk, and that was a bad idea. That seems more fun, like a little bit of wine. OpenGL on a Mac is a nightmare since they deprecated it. Oh yeah. No, it was good. It was helpful to report it. I just need to get a Mac so I can try it out, so I can figure out what the problem is. It's probably a shader problem. That is weird when or that is weird that uh because Mac or because Apple has deprecated using OpenGL. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen for Mac builds for glitch, but right now I'm mostly using WebGL, so that should work because that's in browser. That's why I can't be asked to support macOS for my Kotlin native bindings on Raylib. Yeah, I guess I'll have to use Metal or what's it called? Alcoholism is not recommended, but does work. Very true. It's very effective. What was the other one? Vulkan or OpenGL. But I'm happy just only supporting Windows and Linux. I don't think most people have Macs. Or I think most people who play video games don't use Mac. That is the one problem about using. Actually, I don't know if this is real. It's the one problem about writing your own rendering library. Is that like everybody's like there's just so many like hardware layers to support, and like I don't have the time for that. And I've just figured out OpenGL, and it's like, oh, now I gotta learn Vulkan. I would love it if someone just wrote like Rust has a what's it called, web GPU or something like that. It would be nice to have that, but for Go, and like just have it work. Like just some reasonable thing I can just use and like just be confident that it's gonna work everywhere. Even if I have to give up a little bit, I won't give up a lot, but I'll give up a little bit. How about that? Okay. Well, player cam. Um, I don't really know what to do for that yet, but we'll think about it. Camera.zoom equals min zoom. That's okay. It'll be win dot, or I'm gonna comment this out, but or it's gonna be win dot player cam dot zoom equals min zoom. Perfect. This stuff's fine. Oh, is Conifer still here? I forgot to show you this. All the stuff I did yesterday. You'll be super proud. Oh, it's not gonna run. Actually, the build's already running though, so or I've already rebuilt it, so I can still show you. I received some work from our MVP today. Oh, for our MVP. I thought you meant from our MVP. I was like, your most valuable player. It's to support the 0.0037% of clients that they will have to support. That's nuts. It's a very small, I guess depending on how many clients you have. You must have a lot of clients if you're getting down to that number. 0.0037%. I guess you do work at a bank, so that makes sense. So the question I have is, I don't want to handle this logic in this. The definition of viable is very different to our consumers, I suppose. Wait, what do you mean? This stuff's fine. Capture input. This one I shouldn't need to pass the camera in anymore. I would say supporting almost 100% of our clients. I would say supporting almost 100% of the clients of the consumers of our API would be enough for the MVP. Oh yeah, especially if it's just an MVP. Like if a few people have a bug on something that's like something's like a little, oh yeah, bank people are weird. Something's like a little test app and you're making sure it works for everybody. That seems like too much work. Like you should be like releasing it when you have like, you should just figure out who it's going to work for and then like let them know that you released it. Be like, hey, try this out. So I think I want to have mouse position. I think I want to do like win dot. Maybe I only calculate this once, but I think I want to do win dot world space cursor. I'll put this at the top, just so I remember that that's what is replacing it. World space cursor. I might just have this, I might make like a window.cursor object or something. Like a cursor that has like a tile position, tile snapped position. Maybe I don't need these ones necessarily, but it has world space position and screen space position. And this should just be the unproject of that. So I can do win. I'll just do world pause, screen pause. I like this better. Type cursor struct. I'm gonna comment these ones out because I can always calculate those as needed based off of the world position. I'm gonna call it window cursor just so that this name is different, because the type doesn't really matter. Unit gonna need to learn Vulkan. Ugh. That's why I released it on PS5 only. Easy. That is people do definitely do that. It's gotta be the biggest reason for people to like use rendering libraries and engines. I feel like if people had like the platform specific stuff, that's like the hard part about game engines. I feel like everything else is like really not that bad. Like everything, all this, like you're making a game, you're trying to do something unique. Most likely the engine hasn't implemented a lot of it anyways, so you're gonna have to do it yourself. And I feel like the platform specific stuff though is like the really like, that's like stability that you can't get for free, you know? You have to just spend time with a lot of bugs to get it if you're gonna write it yourself. But yeah. Cursor. Oh, my cat just jumped on my back. You got sharp claws, buddy. I can't reach him. Okay, I'll be right back. My cat jumps on my back and then lays down. Like, 'cause I have to bend over so he doesn't fall or he doesn't dig his claws into me. So I bend over and then he just lays on my back and it's like, I'm gonna sleep here now. I'm gonna call the stream here though. I'm gonna go get some food and play with my cats a little bit. They deserved it. They waited a long time today. Started using build tags on a Go project and it's reignited my coding motivation. Go build, not local and not fast. Thanks, Sammy. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. It was good to see you. I didn't get the text outlining working from last time, but one day we will get that feature added. It ended up being a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, thanks, Emily. You have a good one. Yeah, thanks, guys. See you guys later.